So this is day 6 on the Via Transilvanica. This is Paul with Backpacking and Brews. And we're just leaving Vatra Dornei. It's about 9 o'clock, a little after 9. And we happen to see there's this chairlift that goes right in the direction that we're going. But it's not open, so sad news. Today we're headed to Poiana Negrii, which means Black Meadow, we think, translated. It's about 13 miles. We think it's about over 2,000 feet, almost 3,000 feet elevation gain. And we'll see how long it takes for us to get there. But yeah, first bummer of the morning. We could have possibly had a chairlift ride up, but it's not open just yet. We had snow overnight, as you can see. It's about 30 some degrees. Pretty cloudy skies. It's not, there's no participation anticipated today, but you can see it is still snowing a little bit. So we'll see what the day brings. Right, it's day 6 on the Via Transilvanica. Stayed in the town of Vatra Dornei. Beautiful, beautiful town. Hustling and bustling on the, I guess, the northern side of the two rivers that run through it. It might be the same river, they just split, but we crossed over 2 bodies of water to get here at where we stayed, which was the Villa Siva, a 4-star hotel according to its rating. Reserved a room through booking.com. Altogether it was it was the most expensive stay we've had on the trail at about $124. But breakfast was included, buffet breakfast, wonderful, coffee, eggs, sunny side up, scrambled, bacon, full buffet, all you can eat, of course. We also included in the room was free laundry service. Well, laundry service, nothing's free. And they had a wonderful pool that we jumped in, nice warm temperature. And they had a dry sauna they were willing to turn on for us. Oh, squishy, willing to turn on for us. But we didn't, we just went swimming in the pool instead, which we had to ourselves, nobody else there. So overall, real nice stay, real nice, fairly new hotel. I believe it's as new as 2018, just by judging by what the password for the Wi-Fi was. Or maybe that's when the Wi-Fi was installed. And really nice stay. We think worth the money. Let's see, what else? Vatra Dornei. So as we were crossing the second river, what we saw from on that side, where we stayed, was more of the historic area. Some really nice old buildings, big buildings. One building called Las Vegas, which we believe is the casino that they're building and or have built. Not sure. But the book describes the Via Transilvanica guide describes Vatra Dornei as a previously well-to-do town that has sort of isn't so well-to-do now. But everybody's super friendly, of course. And we did notice, so we might have been one of 2 other guests in our hotel, Villa Siva. And we had dinner last night at Hotel Dorna. Really good pasta. Tammy got the pasta, spaghetti carbonara, and I got the chicken and linguine. Really, really tasty. Really nice hotel, Hotel Dorna, another 4-star hotel that had probably only the restaurant could have fit maybe 75 people or more. And it was just Tammy and me and another couple in there for dinner during the time frame that we were there. So pretty empty. I'm guessing the rooms were empty as well. It may be because they're more of an expensive hotel, but it appears that there are plenty of choices for lodging in Vatra Dornei and plenty of rooms available. And I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Could be early on the season, etc. So that's about it for Vatra Dornei. All right, so climbing up out of Vatra Dornei right now, hence my huffing and puffing. It's quite a steep hill, and for quite a long distance. We're pretty much leaving Vatra Dornei and heading to the highest point on the trail for today, up the top of this hill. We're following a chairlift to the top, or at least to some peak. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, the chairlift's not working. So, okay, talk about money. Cash, that is, more precisely. So, in Romania, they primarily use lei, L-E-I, and or RON, R-O-N, which is an acronym. Not sure what it stands for. And it's about, right now, to the US dollar, it's about a 4-to-1 ratio for exchange. So $1 equals about 25 cents, for example. Of course, that fluctuates. So before we left the States, we brought some cash with us, US dollars. We also had some euros left over from a previous trip. Bills, of course, no coins. We brought that. We brought credit cards. Just swallowed a snowflake. Brought credit cards and ATM cards. Also downloaded an app. Again, no endorsements here. Downloaded a ATM fee saver app and checked that before we left. And it showed a whole bunch of ATMs within Romania that we could use. So we had that in hand. We got cash, RON, in Bucharest. We were limited to 900 RON each. So we withdrew that. It ended up being about $225 a piece. So coming into Vatra Dornei, we had about 800 RON remaining. And we're heading into some more remote areas, so we wanted to get some more RON or lei. So there were a couple of ATMs on the app that were right next to our hotel, about a block away. Went to those, didn't go to them last night, probably should have. Went to first one this morning, and sure enough, it was out of service. Second one, which was about a building away from that one, couldn't be found. So we're leaving Vatra Dornei with just 800 lei in cash. And we're heading to small towns. But we think with the lei, with our euros, with our dollars, we should be able to make it to the next big town without any problem. Well, that's a bummer. The lady at the chairlift said it wasn't running, and now it's starting to run. Bummer. Okay, well, guess we're walking. Okay, this is a new one for us. We've been on quite a few trails, as I mentioned before, but we have not done much hiking in the snow. Yeah, the weather forecast said no precipitation today in Vatra Dornei. I think they might have been a little bit off. We've had at least probably 2 inches of snow overnight, and it's continuing to snow now. So yeah, this is a new one. No snowshoes, just our trail runners. Boy, we just reached the top of the ski slope above Vatra Dornei and came into this little cabin, like cafe area. It's totally deserted almost. A nice lady came out of the door and offered us hot chocolate and some kind of apple strudel, like a Fig Newton kind of thing. Oh, boy, the generosity is just so nice. And it's, yeah, continuing to snow. And who knows, we might even be the first Via Transilvanica hikers this season. But, oh yeah, really a great little oasis at the top of the ski slope. Oh, right. Definitely weather we weren't expecting on the Via Transilvanica. But I can say Tammy and I are both real happy. Not sure you can see the tread marks from her shoes. Real happy with the shoes that we chose. Her the Ultras and mine the Hokas. Really good tread on both of them, and we're certainly glad for it in today's weather with all the snow. It'd be a whole lot slipperier if these weren't as had deep of a tread. The true test, I guess, will be, you know, we both bought these brand new for this trail hike, and for us to go 850 miles in one pair of shoes, that'll be a true test. I myself weigh about 200 pounds. I'm about 6'3", and shrinking, of course, because I'm getting old. And I have a pack that weighs between 30 and 35 pounds probably. So that's a lot of weight to go 850 miles in one pair of shoes. We'll see how far the treads last. And same with Tammy. We'll see how if hers last the full distance. Good time to talk about gear in this cold, snowy weather. So let's see, socks and shoes we covered. Basically darn tough wool socks. 3 pair is what we usually take for each hike. Pardon my nose. Talk about shoes. Pants. So Tammy's wearing leggings this time, which are merino wool. Really partially anyway. I think they're smart wool product. Again, no endorsements or anything for me or us. I'm wearing convertible pants. They're from Colombia. They usually have a good selection. I usually try to go with a size larger than what my waist is, so that I have good leg movement. You know, it doesn't restrict my how far I can stretch my legs. Base layer for top, both merino wool products. Usually ones that zip up, at least partially, so that if you get too hot, you can unzip it, and if you get cold, you can zip it up. And it partially goes up your neck. It's not quite a turtleneck, but it'll go partially up your neck. Woolly hat today. Usually have a baseball cap too. Got that hanging down now. And that works well. A baseball cap works better when you've got a raincoat on with a hood. Because if you ever try turning your head without a baseball cap, when you're wearing the hood up on that raincoat, you kind of start looking into the back of your rain hood. Kind of annoying. So we always have a baseball cap of some kind, so that it basically moves the open space of the raincoat to whatever direction you're facing. Make sense? Yeah. So raincoat, you know, normal with hood. Rain pants also we bring, especially when it's raining. It's not needed today with the snow, but when it's raining, for sure, rain pants are a good choice. Also, we wear gaiters. Dirty Girl gaiters are the brand that we use. Again, no endorsements. They're lightweight. They clean real easy. You can get all kinds of fancy designs and things, so plenty of choices, but nothing extravagant. They clip around the front of your shoe, the lace, the front, and then they use Velcro to snap to the back of your shoe. Nothing goes underneath your shoe, so you don't have to worry about stepping on the strap underneath your shoe and eventually ruining it or breaking it. So gaiters, let's see, underwear, we'll maybe talk about that later. Coat, so we talked about raincoat, but also fleece jacket. When we did our hikes out in the west where it's arid, puffy coat is the primary coat of choice, but in more humid areas, damp climates, the fleece jacket works better, we think. So even you can wear fleece underneath this raincoat, which is I'm doing today, and that way the sweat doesn't just stay within, you're attached to your body, but actually potentially wicks away to the outside of the fleece coat, so you stay warmer. But we for this trip we both brought fleece jackets and we brought puffy coats. We weren't exactly sure how cold things were going to be. That's about the gear talk for now. I'm coming to a steep slope, so I'll pause. This is a sound I didn't expect to hear on this trail. Hilarious. The snow appears to be getting a little deeper, even within the thick pine grove woods that we're in right now. So, backpacking in Bruce, can't do a video without talking about beer. And so last night when we were at the Hotel Dornei for dinner, they had a few beers on draft. Heineken, not a fan, and a Hefeweizen. And we both, Tammy and I, like Hefeweizens. And so I said, oh, I'll try the Hefeweizen, please. And the waitress said, ugh, it's not good, sour. And I said, wasn't exactly sure what she was meant. So tried it anyway. And sure enough, it was sour. And just horrible. Had to return it. And we've experienced that problem before with Hefeweizens, even in the States. The Hefeweizens, sometimes they're just off. I'm not sure if they just don't travel well, especially if it's a Hefeweizen, like a foreign one that's brewed in Germany and then shipped all the way to the States. You know, they say the best beer is local beer, and we definitely agree with that. So anyway, had the Hefeweizen last night. It was bad, it was sour, definitely off, not good at all. So instead had a dark, strong beer, which was really good, strong and flavorful, malty, but very delicious. It came out of a bottle, but it was still very good. Well, we came down the mountain from the Dornei ski slope and walked through pine forest where it was snowing most of the time, really beautiful. And we came straight into this sort of a logging road. It was unpaved initially, and now this is a nice sort of a concrete road that we've been walking on for a few kilometers. We just passed kilometer stone number 111, and just wanted to show you some of the differences in the terrain and the surface that we're walking on. It's kind of nice to be walking on this. You can make better time, of course. It's a little hard on your feet though, but you know, we'll accept that. Also, wanted to bring up water. So we're, as we've mentioned, we're not camping. We're staying in guest houses and hotels and farm stays and other kind of villas and casas and stuff. So we usually fill up with water when we start the day, either 1.5 liters or 2 liters, depending upon what we think we're going to need through the day. So far, now granted it's been wetter than probably summer, but there are plenty of streams that we walk by all 6 days so far. Plenty of water sources. So if you want to filter water or if you want to treat it, there's that option as well, so that you don't have to carry as much. I'm not sure what it'll be like in the summer though, but certainly plenty of water this time of year. Okay, we're about 4 miles out from Poiana Negrii, which is our stop for tonight. And yeah, we're just having all kinds of good weather here. As you can see, that's what we got going on right now. It's sleeting, wind is blowing. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it's not exactly a zero precipitation day like was forecasted. And it's based on what the clouds, I mean, you can't even see much further than 10, 20, 30 yards maybe. I think it's going to be doing this for a while. So lovely, but we still got miles to go. So press on. So looks like there are yurt options on the Via Transilvanica. Judging by this sign right here, you can barely see the VT thing here, and it's got a little arrow pointing to the right, so I'm guessing somebody hiking on the VT could stay in a yurt if they wanted to. All right, so we're in Poiana Negrii, which apparently means translated black meadow, and yeah, there are dogs, but they're behind fences, so we're good. We left about 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, and the snow is still coming down, but very lightly. So 6 hours total. We didn't stop for lunch, but we did stop at the top of Dornei ski slope, and the nice lady gave us a cup of hot chocolate and some treats, some cookies of some sort. The AllTrails says we went 15 miles and we climbed 3,200 feet. Tammy's watch says we went 13.85 miles and we climbed 2,700 feet. We got sidetracked a few times, and admittedly, I might have gone a little bit off trail more than Tammy, so maybe that explains, but I don't know, not a whole mile. Anyway, let's see what else from the day. Yeah, it's been pretty much snowing all day. We did get some sunshine. We got snow, we had sleet, we had wind, hail, you know, you name it. We had it. And now we're heading to Casa Edi, or Edi. Not sure how it's pronounced, but it's spelled E-D-I. And it was, we reserved it through booking.com. And we'll see how it is when we get there. But looking forward to getting into our room and drying out.